Hello and welcome to Wine and Words Wednesday. My name is Mary Bear Shannon. I'm a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. And today I have some poems. I, like many of us at this time of year, are just about to go on vacation in the next couple of weeks. Of course, I'm really excited about it, and I know we all are. And so I'm going to read some poems about vacation and travel. So again, this is Wine and Words Wednesday. I'm Mary Bear Shannon. I'm a reference librarian at the Haverford Township Free Library. And here are some poems about vacation and travel. So my first poem is by Rita Dove. This one is entitled Vacation. I love the hour before takeoff. That stretch of no time, no home, but the gray vinyl seats linked like underfolding paper dolls. Soon we shall be summoned to the gate. Soon enough there will be the clumsy procedure of row numbers and perforated stubs. But for now I can look at these ragtag nuclear families with their cooing and bickering, or the healed bachelorette trying to ignore a baby's wail, and the baby's exhausted mother waiting to be called up early, while the athlete, one monstrous hand asleep on his duffel bag, listens, perched like a seal trained for the plunge. Even the lone executive who has wandered this far into summer with his lasered itinerary briefcase knocking his knees, even he has worked for the pleasure of bearing no more than a scrap of himself into this fall. He'll dine out, she'll sleep late, they'll let the sun burn them happy all morning. A little hope, a little whimsy, before the loudspeaker blurts and we leap up to become Flight 828, now boarding at Gate 17. And that was the poem Vacation by Rita Dove. Moving on, here is a poem that's actually called Travel, and this is by Edna St. Vincent Millay. The railroad track is miles away, and the day is loud with voices speaking. Yet there isn't a train goes by all day, but I hear its whistle shrieking. All night there isn't a train goes by, through the night is still for sleep and dreaming. But I see its cinders red on the sky and hear its engine steaming. My heart is warm with friends I make, and better friends I'll not be knowing. Yet there isn't a train I wouldn't take, no matter where it's going. And that is the poem Travel by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Okay, so our next poem, as we are doing poetry for Wine and Words Wednesday, is about vacation and travel. And my next poem is If You Get There Before I Do, and this is by Dick Allen. Air out the linens, unlatch the shutters on the eastern side, and maybe find that deck of bicycle cards lost near the sofa. Or maybe walk around and look out the back windows first. I hear the views magnificent, old silent pines leading down to the lakeside, layer upon layer of magnificent light. Should you be hungry, I'm sorry there's no Chinese takeout, only a general store. You passed it coming in, but you probably didn't notice it's one weary gas pump, along with all those SO cans from decades ago. If you're somewhat confused, think Vermont, that state where people are folded into the mountains like berries in batter. What I'd like when I get there is a few hundred years to to sit around and concentrate on one thing at a time. I'd start with radiators and work my way up to my Sir Eckhart. Or why do people turn their lives around? So many take small steps into what they never do. The first weeks, the first lessons, until they choose something other, beginning their lives. So never knowing what it's like to risk last-minute failure. I'd save blue for last, Klein blue, or the blue of Crater Lake on an early June morning. That would take decades, don't forget, to sway the fence gate back and forth a few times, just for its creaky sound. When you swing in the tire swing, make sure your socks are off. You've forgotten, I expect, the feeling of feet brushing the tops of sunflowers. In Vermont, I once met a ski bum on a summer break who had followed the snows for 7 years and planned on at least 7 more. We're here for the enjoyment of it, he said, to salam into joy. I expect you'll find Bibles scattered everywhere, or Talmuds, or Korans, as well as little snippets of gospel music, chants, old Advent calendars with their paper doors still open. You might pay them some heed. Don't be alarmed when what's familiar starts fading, as gradually as you lose your bearings. Your body seems to turn opaque and then transparent, until finally it's invisible. What old age rehearses us for, and vacations into the limbo of the Middle West. Take it easy, take it slow. When you think I'm on my way, the long middle passage done. Fill the pantry with cereal, curry, and blue and white boxes of macaroni. Place the checkerboard set or chest if you insist, out on the flat-topped stump beneath the porch's shadow. Pour some lemonade into the tallest glass you can find in the cupboard. Then drum your fingers, practice lifting your eyebrows until you tell them all, the skeptics, bigots, blind neighbors, whose damn with faint praise critics on their hobby horses, that I'm allowed. And if there's a place for me that love has kept protected, I'll be coming too. So that was the poem If You Get There Before I Do by Dick Allen. And again, we are doing poems about vacations and travel. So my next poem is Looking for the Gulf Motel by Richard Blanco. Marco Island, Florida. There should be nothing here I don't remember. The Gulf Motel, with mermaid lampposts and ship's wheel in the lobby, should still be rising out of the sand like a cake decoration. My brother and I should still be pretending we don't know our parents, embarrassing us as they roll the luggage cart past the front desk, loaded with our scruffy suitcases. 24 loaves of Cuban bread, brown bags bulging with enough mangoes to last the entire week. Our espresso pot, the pressure cooker, and the pork roast reeking garlic through the lobby. All because we can't afford to eat out, not even on vacation, only 2 hours from home in Miami, but far enough away to be thrilled by whiter sands on the west coast of Florida, where I should still be for the first time watching the sunset instead of rise over the ocean. There should be nothing here I don't remember. My mother should still be in the kitchenette of the Gulf Motel, her daisy sandals from Kmart squeaking across the linoleum, still gorgeous in her teal swimsuit and amber earrings, stirring a pot of arroz con pollo, adding sprinkles of onion powder and dollops of tomato sauce. My father should still be in a terry cloth jacket, smoking, clinking a glass of amber whiskey in the sunset of the Gulf Motel, watching us dive into the pool, two boys he'll never see grow into men who will be proud of him. There should be nothing here I don't remember. My brother and I should still be playing parcheesi. My father should still be alive, slow dancing with my mother on the sliding glass balcony of the Gulf Motel. No music, only the waves keeping time, a song only their minds hear. 10,000 nights back to their life in Cuba. My mother's face should still be resting against his bare chest, like the moon resting on the sea. The stars should still be turning around them. There should be nothing I don't remember. My brother should still be 13, sneaking rum in the bathroom, sculpting naked women from the sand. I should still be 8 years old, dazzled by seagulls and how many seconds I hold my breath underwater. But I'm not. I'm 38, driving up Collier Boulevard, looking for the Gulf Motel, for everything that should still be, but it isn't. I want to blame the condos, their shadows for ruining the beach, and my past. I want to chase the snowbirds away with their tacky mansions and yachts. I want to turn the golf courses back into mangroves. I want to find the Gulf Motel exactly as it was and pretend for a moment nothing lost is lost. And that was Looking for the Gulf Motel by Richard Blanco. And again, we are doing poems about travel and about vacation. So here's my next poem. It's called Go Greyhound by Bob Hickok. A few hours after Des Moines, the toilet overflowed. This wasn't the adventure it sounds. I sat with a man whose tattoos weighed more than I did. He played Hendrix on mouth guitar. His electric Ladyland lips weren't fast enough. And if pitch and melody are the rudiments of music, this was just memory. A body nostalgic for the touch of adored sound. Hope's a smaller thing on a bus. You hope a forgotten smoke consorts with lint in the pocket of last resort to be upwind of the human condition, that the baby sleeps, and when this never happens, that she cries with the lullaby meter of the sea. We were swallowed by rhythm, the ultra-blonde, who removed her wig and applied fresh loops of duct tape to her skull. Her companion, who held a mirror and popped his dentures in and out of place. The boy who cut stuffing from the seat where his mother should have been. There was little more sleep in our thoughts. It was easier to yield. To what exactly? The suspicion that what we watch watches back. Cornfields that stare out at our hands, downtowns that hold us in their windows through the night. Or faith, strange to feel in that zoo of manners. I had drool on my shirt and breath of the undead. A guy dropped empty buds on the floor like gravity was born to provide this service. We were white and black trash who'd come in an outhouse on wheels, and still some had grown in touching the spirited shirts on clotheslines after watching a sky of starlings flow like cursive over wheat back into creatures capable of a wish. As we entered Arizona, I thought I smelled the ocean liked the lie of this, and closed my eyes as shadows puppeted against my lids. We brought our failures with us, their taste, their smell, but the kid who threw up in the back pushed to the window anyway, opened it, and let the wind clean his face, screamed something I couldn't make out, but agreed with in shape a sound I recognized as everything I'd come so far to give away. And my next poem is Travel by Robert Louis Stevenson. I should like to rise and go where the golden apples grow, where below another sky parrot islands anchored lie, and watched by cockatoos and goats, lonely Crusoes building boats, where in sunshine reaching out eastern cities miles about are the mosque and minaret among the sandy gardens set, and the rich goods from near and far hang for sale in the bazaar, where the great wall round China goes, and on one side the desert blows, and with bell and voice and drum cities on the other hum, where are forests hot as fire, wide as England, tall as a spire, full of apes and coconuts and the Negro hunters' huts, where the knotty crocodile lies and blinks in the Nile, and the red flamingo flies hunting fish before his eyes, where in jungles near and far man-devouring tigers are, lest the hunt be drawing near, or a corner by the scene swinging in a palanquin, where among the desert sands some deserted city stands, all its children sweeping and prince, grown to manhood ages since. Not a foot in street or house, not a stir of child or mouse, and when kindly falls the night, in all the town no spark of light. There I'll come when I'm a man, with a camel caravan, light a fire in the gloom of some dusty dining room, see the pictures on the wall, heroes, fights, and festivals, and in a corner find the toys of the old Egyptian boys. All right, and that was by Robert Louis Stevenson. That's Travel. Okay, so my last poem is Self-Portrait on the Street of an Unnamed Foreign City by Jennifer Grotz. The lettering on the shop window in which you catch a glimpse of yourself is in Polish. Behind you, a man quickly walks by, nearly shouting into his cell phone. Then a woman in a dreamier pace, carrying a just-bought bouquet upside down, all on a street where pickpockets abound, along with ubiquitous smell of something baking. It is delicious to be anonymous on a foreign city street. Who knew this would be a life having languages instead of relationships, struggling even then? Finding out what it means to be a woman by watching the faces of men passing by. I went to distant cities. It almost didn't matter, which so primed was I to be reverent. All of them have the beautiful bridge crossing a gray, nearsighted river. One of the messages, the eyes, focuses the swooping birds that skim the water's surface. The usual things I didn't pine for earlier because I didn't know I wouldn't have them. I spent so much time alone. When I actually turned lonely, it was vertigo. Myself estranged is now. I understood the world. My ignorance had saved me. My vices fueled me. And then I turned 40. I, who loved to look and look, couldn't see what others did. Now I think about currencies, linguistic equivalents, how lopsided they are, while my reflection blurs in the shop windows. Wanting to be as far away as possible exactly as much as still with you. Shamelessly entering a Starbucks free Wi-Fi to write this. Okay, so those are my poems about travel and vacation. I hope that everyone has a chance to get away, even if it's for a short amount of time for vacation. And we are all so glad that we are actually able to do some traveling now. So thank you for joining me for Wine and Words Wednesday, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.